Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So this month marks 3 years since I started singing the Peter Dislike anthem. I want to go back in time and talk about why I started singing it. I adopted the theme from Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is an economist who recommends buying gold and silver. I had just started investing in bismuth, and I wanted to be the Peter Schiff of bismuth. And so I decided to copy his theme every time I would talk about buying bismuth. And at the time, I thought the Peter Schiff show sounded a lot like the Peter Shit show. So I started singing the Peter Shit show on my channel. And not long after that, I started getting a lot of dislikes. I was really upset. But then one day I was looking at the hundreds of dislikes that I was getting on every video, and I was thinking to myself, what if these dislikes could represent support? And that's when the idea clicked that I could just start asking for dislikes, and I started singing the Peter Dislike Show and asking for people to support my channel by disliking my videos. And then I started getting a lot of dislikes, and eventually it morphed into pray for me by hitting the dislike button. Now here's the thing. Since beginning the Peter Dislike jingle, a lot of good things have happened to me. I've accumulated, my net worth has grown by at least $700,000 since I started singing. A lot of it was due to the recent appreciation in both the precious metals and the strategic metals, right? I met multiple important figures in my life, right? I met my girlfriend. She's moving home to Vietnam now. I'm going to have to think about how to stay in touch with her. I met another girl in Taiwan who's going to be an important career connection when I move there. And then at the book club here in Phoenix, I met a distant cousin of Eve Curry. I call her Eve Curry because she's half Polish and she loves literature. And a lot of other good stuff has happened. And for the first time, I survived a job where I asked for accommodations due to my food allergies. I can't tell you how big a can of worms it opens up every time I have to bring up food allergy accommodations at my workplace. I've lost every other job that food allergies have come up. It creates friction, right? After all, at a tutoring center, in a classroom setting, it just creates a lot of friction that people have to work around that stuff. I even had a boss outright tell me that it was a liability. What had happened was I was interviewing at a job involving this is in-home tutoring. I made the mistake of meeting with the interviewer at a coffee shop, and when I went to order something, I told the cashier, the cook, that if he could change his gloves before working on it. I have food allergies. And the interviewer overheard. And the interviewer asked me, well, what if I have to go to a student's home where the student is going to be eating or preparing food? How would I handle that? And so I think I answered something to the effect of, I've had allergies most of my life. I think I know how to take care of it. Don't worry too much about it. It's something to that effect. But I think it sealed the deal right there. And you could tell the conversation completely pivoted after that question. And so it's always a tricky situation. Anytime food comes up, I've had people outright tell me that it's a liability to them or their business or whatever. I've been kicked out of social events as well, right, over food. What had happened was I used to go to this board game club. One day, as I'm playing Ticket to Ride, one of the other people at the event opened a bag of cookies, and I literally just walked away from the game, and I gave myself distance before I told them, I have food allergies. I'm sorry. And so after that, you could tell I just wasn't welcome there, and that's very typical. I mean, it's bad enough at a social event. Now imagine having to navigate your workplace because of that. Another problem is, even if I don't outright lose my job, either get soft fired, as we call it, even if that doesn't happen, the fact that I'm constantly asking for workplace accommodations for allergies, for I am autistic. Sometimes autism kind of issues come in. They haven't come up at my current job. But the fact that I'm constantly asking for accommodations left and right, they crowd out other things that I like to be asking for, like raises, promotions, better schedules, right? I don't know if crowd out is the right word for that. But for the first time in my career, I've asked for allergy accommodations without losing my job or having all of this crap happen, right? So anyway, when I get married, I want Peter Dislike to be my wedding song. I really do. I'm gonna have to write a few more words to it. When I die, I want Peter Dislike to be played at my funeral over and over again, and for everybody to wave the dislike finger. And if I have children, the dislike will probably be the first word that my children learn to say. It's just become a cult almost. Now, here's the thing. Do I scientifically believe the prayer of God, the God of dislikes, has any meaning? Probably not. But if I stop praying it and bad things start to happen, I'll start to regret that I stopped praying it. So I'm kind of in a weird conundrum right now where I'm forced to pray for something that I don't even believe in just because to stop would invite bad feelings if something were to go wrong, right? I bet a lot of religions kind of go like that anyway, right? Anyway, in theology, I believe it's called Pascal's wager. You can look that up. I'm kind of dealing with a Pascal's wager, but involving the God of dislikes, right? So let's pray together. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.